What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day of Philly sports history for February 12th, 2023. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. We made it. I'm not going to do what everybody thinks I'm going to do and freak out yet. Still plenty of time for that. But we are roughly about, 10 hours before game time? Depending on what time you're listening to. As I'm recording this, 10 hours before game time. And going to do a little something different today. I'll get into that in a minute. But first, Sixers update. 101-98 win over the Nets up in Brooklyn. It was kind of a gritty win. They fought hard, came back when it got tough, overcame some questionable calls from the refs. I'm still concerned that they're coming out flat. Like for whatever reason, I don't know if it's they're getting tired, whether it's part of the All-Star stuff. They're not happy with the trade. I don't know. They're just coming out. I mean, Joe had like 37 points, but they're coming out flat with like a lack of energy. And I don't know if that's on coach. Like I said, if they're just tired, but something to keep an eye on. But we'll take the win. They have the day off to enjoy the Eagles game. Flyers lost in overtime to the Predators yesterday. They're back in action tonight versus the Kraken. And I got to say, I guess if you're a hockey and Eagles fan, going to a Flyers game today might be a good distraction for a few hours. Wish I'd have thought of that, to be honest. But, all right, so there is no this day in Philly sports history for today. This day in Philly sports history is today. It's Super Bowl 52. So everything from here on out is going to be all about the Super Bowl. That's all anybody's thinking about anyway. So let's go. First, today's Philly Sports Black History Spotlight. We're going to spotlight Malcolm Jenkins, a Super Bowl winner himself. So he signed with a free agent with the Eagles back in 2014. And thinking back, it's kind of funny. Everybody at the time wanted Jarius Byrd, the Eagles, to go out and sign Jarius Byrd, who was like the top safety free agent on the market. Ironically, he went to the Saints. I believe he was in Buffalo. He went to the Saints, and then we ended up with Jenkins as kind of like our consolation prize. And to be honest, it worked out much better for the Eagles signing Malcolm Jenkins than Jarius Byrd. But he was a Pro Bowler here. He was a team leader on defense. Obviously helped them win in Super Bowl 52. Just sort of like the heart and the emotional leader of that team, especially on defense. But more importantly, he used his platform as an NFL player to raise awareness for some of the racial inequities that are going on. He drew attention to the social injustices facing many black people in our country, specifically those in the underserved communities. He started the Malcolm Jenkins Foundation to empower youth in the underserved community. So again, we've talked a lot this week about guys that have really served in that mentor role. Malcolm Jenkins was no different. He was a co-founder of the Players Association, which is the NFL players helping to kind of work toward making some changes in the country. But he is our Philly Sports Black History Spotlight for today. And who else was I going to go to besides the Super Bowl winner on Super Bowl Sunday? So shout out to you, Malcolm Jenkins, for all you've done for the community, all you've done for the Eagles as a player. But again, most importantly, for being that mentor and serving in that role for the youth, especially in the underserved communities. All right, so Super Bowl. And again, I could have done a random Flyers or college basketball this day, but it's Super Bowl Sunday. So this is Philly sports history today. And for the rest of the time, I'm going to come at you more as a fan today. Not so much breaking down this, that, and the other. Yeah, I'm going to give you my pick and base it on my own breakdown of what I see the game. But coming in a fan, and I'll be completely honest, for the past 2 weeks, it's killed me that we have been the favorites. And I mentioned it yesterday somewhat about it being new Philly and being okay and to embrace it. And you know what? Let's just do it. Let's embrace it. We're the favorites. This has never happened. I mean, I guess they were favorites in Super Bowl 15, but the fact that top to bottom, with the exception, if you listen to Back to the Future, if you still haven't, you still have time to listen to our Super Bowl breakdown there. But other than quarterback and tight end, we are a better team top to bottom. There's just no way around it. So embrace the fact that this is New Philly, and we deserve it. If you're a wrestling fan, whenever somebody wins a championship and they come out and do the speech, you deserve it. Guess what, Philly fans? You deserve it. Let's go. Embrace it. And let's just revel in it. I mean, because in my mind, we are the best team. We're going in there and we're winning the Super Bowl. So I look at it a lot like the Rocky franchise. And so much is always made about the connection to Rocky and Philly, especially when it comes to Philly sports. So Rocky 1, that was like Super Bowl 39. That was when we got punched in the mouth. We lost by 3. We kind of hung tough with the Patriots, who were in the middle of their first dynasty, I think, at the time. And we got punched in the mouth, and it was like, okay. Then we go to Super Bowl 52. That's like Rocky 2. We get our redemption on the Patriots. It worked out very well for the narrative that it was against the Patriots, it was against Tom Brady, and living large. And then if you kind of pay attention to Rocky 3, gets a little bit full of himself, okay? And the Eagles, we definitely, as fans, we were full of ourselves. We believed the Nick Foles magic, the Carson Wentz deal, all of that stuff. We did, and we got knocked down a couple pegs. And that was like losing to Clubber Lang. All right? But here we are. What happened at the end of Rocky 3? At the end of Rocky 3, he comes back, and he does it for Mick, and he knocks out Clubber Lang early. You ain't so bad. You ain't so tough. So that's what we're going into with a Rocky 3 mentality today. Patrick Mahomes, you ain't so bad. You ain't so bad. You ain't so tough. So that's what we got to go today. This is Rocky 3. This is the redemption song. This is what we do. All right? Let's go. And this one, I do want to kind of give a shout out. There are a lot of people that did not make it to see the Eagles win Super Bowl 52. So today is for them. I'm speaking specifically of my grandparents, who were really majorly responsible for turning me into the huge Eagles fan I am. I've talked a lot about the little football helmets you get out of the bubblegum machines, the Miller Lite football handbooks, and watching the scores and everything. So this is for them. And this is also for the ones that saw Super Bowl 52 but aren't here today. If you know anybody like that, let's go. Let's give a shout out for them. Have a beer, eat a wing, whatever you got to do for them. But again, this is New Philly. This is not Old Philly. Old Philly, we'd be freaking out that we're favorites in the Super Bowl. We'd be like, oh no, big bad Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid. No, this is New Philly, just like Rocky 3. You ain't so bad. You ain't so tough. So let's do it. And truthfully, let's go back to the Revolutionary War days. Everybody always sleeps on Philly. Oh, it's just Philly. New York was this. Boston was this. Guess what? There is no United States without Philly. So let's go in with that kind of mentality, that kind of mindset. Rocky 3, Revolutionary War. Let's go. How did that work out? We kicked the British's hot butts. And let's do it. All right, so now it's time for the pick. And you really think I'm going to get on here as hyped up as I am and pick against the Eagles? If you really want the breakdown, go check out Back to the Future with a PH. But we are a better team at every position except for quarterback and tight end. And truthfully, our strengths are going to help neutralize both of them. We're full strength today. Our defensive line is going to have to be the ones to get pressure on Mahomes. You're not going to be able to blitz him a lot, and that's okay because our defensive line is just so deep. All right, so you got to keep him contained. Our cornerbacks and our secondary are much better than their receivers. So you know what? Allow them to kind of bottle them up on the outside. All you need to do, linebackers and safeties, keep Kelsey in front of you. If you do that, there's no reason why. And then just pound the rock, pound the rock. I'm sick of hearing, oh, well, Jalen's arm hurts. It doesn't matter. Pound the rock. Take time off the clock. Do what you do. Build up a big lead. The spread is -1.5. Eagles. Take it. Lay the points. Eagles. I also like the under because I think they're going to pound the rock. The under is 51.5, I believe, or 51. Take the Eagles and the under. We're doing it. We're going to be parading down Broad Street again. And yes, that everybody's like, oh, don't jinx it, don't jinx it. Guess what? This is New Philly. We're winning. It's time people put some respect on our names and our team. And this is the time we take that next step. New Philly, go Birds. We're winning the Super Bowl. I will see you when I see you. Woo!